your guys' commentary provided us with a lot of feedback that things we haven't thought about.
So typically Jason should be responsible. So his name should be included in this story because he is the leader of the group and he should take responsibility.
It would be like anything in our government. If President Obama would make a mistake, or even Edward Snowden with that case where people were wiretapping into our phones with the NSA. His name was tied to it because he was the whistleblower, but then it also fell back upon the NSA, who's the leader. There is some responsibility that is tied to being a leader of an organization. In our group, we're part of Junior Statesmen of America, and we are a service group. And we do a bunch of events that are dedicated to helping service communities around town because we give all of our money to Tanga, Tanzania. And I'm the leader of that group. And if Roxy didn't do her service hours and she's just paying me $100, this group with Doctors Without Borders is school approved to do service to raise money and be aware of this cause. So paying off and not doing service for this case, it does go hand in hand is that you need to do service to raise the money and you can't just pull it out of your pocket and say that it's okay.
And you made a comment that even though the kids might not get their hours in, that maybe they were doing other things that took up your time. But if you commit yourself to an organization or a club, you should be able to say that you have the time for that and not just pay it off. Because that's your responsibility to go do that volunteer work.
You did make a comment about it's just a high school newspaper, but being on the staff of a high school newspaper, we're not just playing for the school. We have websites where it's reaching people all over the town. So one story here can reach more than one person. It goes home with you. So it just doesn't stop at the school gate. It goes throughout the town. So, and not being able to, you did make the suggestion of not using names, which I think is good because even on TV, people like black people's faces out where you don't know who's speaking for safety of the story. But just going back to, if he is the leader, he has to own up to responsibility. And if you put in the time, you'll see how you can help the society.
3 minutes are up. Thank you for that. The judges will have 30 seconds to consult with each other, and then they will have 10 minutes to ask our Q&A questions of the responses. So your 30 seconds, judges, is now. All right, judges, that was your 30 seconds. So let's begin the 10 minutes of questions for Team A. And Team A is the only team responding here to the questions. Is there a judge that would like to start us off here in the questions? David.
What benefit would there be, if any, to not running the story?
A benefit to not running the story would be that Jason's faults for pocketing money would not be brought to light. He wouldn't serve any negative repercussions for college applications, and ultimately the school might not even know about his mishap.
If the story is not run, perhaps they could look to principal or something like that. The gossip could get around, and instead of having a story that might be edited by a staff member or an adult
is there a benefit to the school overall by running the story, but omitting what service club was stepping aside and naming his name as the leader?
It would be a benefit because then it would ruin the club's reputation and be improved. At the same time, we need to, it's that argument of whether to be a whistleblower or not and how much to the extent. If I believe that if Charlie is creating a fair and unbiased story, it should totally downgrade that club's credibility because we learn from our mistakes.
I must have missed it. You made a comment that said Charlie pocketed money.
Yes, I must have.
Okay, because I didn't see that in the story.
We don't know what he did.
Okay.
It's a question of what he did with the money.
A question comes to mind as, what's the value of fundraising versus the value of community service? Are you performing a community service when in fact you are fundraising? And my question was the money coming from their pockets, or were they raising the money in the community?
As, do you mean by the members of the club?
Yes.
The way I understand it in this case is that the members were giving money from their own pockets. And the benefit of doing community service to fundraise is like in JSA, we rake leaves around town, we do community dinner, we do dodgeball, all these different things. Even though we're fundraising, it's going for a greater cause. And by doing community service and not just paying out of your own pocket, you're learning how to become a better, well-rounded individual that is learning about your community, you're getting out there, and you're learning how hard work and putting in time can make you understand other people in your community and have a greater appreciation of what you have and what your time and service can do to help others.
Do you feel that the group may have been punished enough already?
And here doesn't specify the repercussions that they received.
Well, it said it lost its status as a
Loss of status
school-sponsored group.
as a school-sponsored group. But with that, news is news, and it can be it's a story, it's something that they did wrong, it's for the newspaper, as long as it's an unbiased statement. They have been punished. Losing your funding from the school is a big hit, but running the story and shedding light on other members of the school, letting it know, maybe that'll even bring the student body together to amend and revise this club and try to build up its status once again.
So in the paper it said that he refused to be quoted the first time, and then he emailed Carly later. Do you think it's okay that she can say what he said? Like it might have been like off record.
At times as a reporter, there's people who, even when I'm giving an interview, will say, please put this off the record. Just as a side note, there's a way when you're writing the story where Charlie can say Jason was not available to comment on the subject, but you could say, to kind of defend for Jason, that he is reflective and understands what happened when the organization was wrong.
Apologizing for his actions. They could have put that in the end of the story to
trying to like that he did recognize what he did wrong, and at least not make him look as bad. But
What type of positive comments do you think could or should be included in the article to help the organization move forward?
I think what could be included in the article is all the club probably will start with Jason, there's probably prior history to it. So looking at all the service work the club has done, what the club has provided for these doctors with orders, if they got them more materials or what they raised their money for, there are good things that can come out of reporting on the doctor's reports.
What if it doesn't say how difficult it was for those students to come up with the money versus spending hours in the community service. It doesn't say if they paid out of their, like say they had a part-time job at Menards, and actually the money that they gave was they didn't have time in their schedule for community service, but they actually sacrificed their own paycheck for money they did earn and, put their blood, sweat, and tears or whatever. It didn't say where the money came from. So does that affect the way that the article gets written? Or do you assume like everything about it was improprietary? And how far do you go to allow Jason to save face? It's kind of a follow-up question I have.
I think with that, more is not for the story, but it should be within the group that if you can't physically go and do stuff, then you should talk to a leader about it. Or maybe you talk to a leader about doing something else in the group instead of going off and paying money. Because for community service, the money's great to have to donate. But if you're out in the community, you're also making friends. You could change someone's life by talking to them, just by doing that work.
It's more than just the dollar. It's more than just the dollar amount. It's getting the experience as well.
Making so you don't rely on money instead of being more social and caring towards others, community service.
If you'd like, we have time for maybe a quick question here. Just about a minute or so. But if you're otherwise not, all set? Okay, fantastic. Well, that concludes this first exchange, at least. So we will give the judges time to do their scoring for this particular exchange. I will happily take the initial quiz from you at this time. You'd like me to take scrap paper away and do that as well?
Trying to save the, yeah, trying to reuse.
Yeah. get out the case. This is case 14. The question is it morally permissible for Angel to use Mark's membership ID for the pool? Is it morally permissible for Angel to use Mark's membership ID, or ID rather, for